Hey everybody, it's Terrence and I am back with another video. But before we begin, if you have not already, go ahead and click the subscribe down. Don't remember my intro because it's been 10 years. So, welcome to my channel if you are brand new. Hey everybody, it's Terrence and I am back with another video. But before we begin, if you have not already, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and make sure to click the bell icon too. It just alerts you to anytime I put out content, which has not been frequent because I haven't posted in like 3 or 4 months because there's really no reason. But I am back today and we are gonna do this video and it's gonna be amazing. I guess at this point I should put a spoiler alert warning just in case, spoiler alert, even though it's a review of a movie that came out in like 1994. So can you really spoil that? My AC just came on and I really hope that you guys cannot hear that, but it gets hot, so I'm gonna keep it on. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the brand new 2019 Disney's The Lion King. Like I said, the original movie came out in 1994. Oof, that was so long ago. It's literally one of my absolute favorite Disney movies ever produced. Between that, Oliver and Company, and Mulan, those are like my top 3 like classic Disney movies that came out. I'm not really a fan of like the princess movies. They are just like, oh my god, save me, man. Like they have no personality and they're terrible. So anybody that does like those movies, cool, like they're great, but I'm just not a fan. So my overall review of the movie, there are obviously some good things about the movie, and because I'm such a big Disney fan, there were some negative things about the movie. So we're gonna start with the positives because I did not think that it was a terrible movie. And number one, most of these songs were still super iconic and very, very, very well composed and well done. Like I said, The Lion King has probably one of the most iconic soundtracks in all of the Disney universe. They stayed true to the original compositions, which were incredible. I don't think that they really needed to be changed, but because it's 2019, you can add more to it to enhance the already beautiful sound, which they did really, really well. The CG was breathtakingly flawless. Like, you can tell that the CG is where they spent the most of their budget, their time, their energy, because it's pretty dang near flawless. Like, it's so good, from the way that the fur moves to the subtle ear twitches of the cubs and the lions when they're just walking, to the super realistic bird-like movements even Zazu had. Like, everything was so good. Yes, it did veer away from the super cartoony, more personified version that the original gave, but I don't think that it needed that super cartoony like look, or they didn't need those super cartoony animations for it to be like goofy. It wouldn't have gone with the realistic CGI, if that makes sense. Anyway, CGI, beautiful. Absolutely zero complaints with this, with the way the movie looked. The scenery was beautiful. Everything breathtakingly beautiful. One point that another point that I really enjoyed was the fact that Mufasa's voice actor was still the Mufasa, because his voice is so iconic, like with the "remember who you are" and him telling Simba about the circle of life. He just sounds very fatherly. He just has that voice, and I feel like if they had picked anybody else to try to play him, Mufasa's character would not have come across as the Mufasa that I feel like Disney was trying to hand to the fans of the original movie. Another really good point. At the very beginning of the movie, because I said it doesn't catch me in the first 3 seconds, which if you've seen The Lion King, then you know the first 3 seconds of the movie, you know. If that didn't hit right, then it would have been a done deal. But as soon as that hit, it was it. And that entire scene from the Circle of Life, that entire scene from the animated movie was so iconic. And the CG version hit all of it. Like, from the little birds running between the elephant's feet to the birds taking off and flying over the mountains, like everything, like it lined up perfectly. And I really enjoyed that, being such a big fan of the movie. The entire movie, honestly, for me, was like one big nostalgia cruise. Like I said, it was one of my favorite movies ever, and just watching it again, being remastered and remade, it just took me there. It took me back to my childhood, and I just felt so good about it. And another good point, Timon and Pumbaa. I love Seth Rogen as an actor, and his voice for Pumbaa, perfect. He plays the kind of dim-witted sidekick well. Like, he does that very well. Timon's voice actor, don't really know who he is, but played him very well. In the first movie, Timon was more of a flamboyant, like boisterous soul, and he gave that in this new performance. It was so good. Pumbaa's voice actor gave Pumbaa very well. Also, my final good point, the singing in this movie, amazing. That was what was so iconic about the first movie. The singing, the songs themselves, the singers, and the singing was amazing in this remake as well. So moving on to my more negative points. The biggest negative point for me is that the voice acting in this movie, 80 to 90% of it was flat, lifeless, and emotionless. You can't take a movie that's full of such drama and quirkiness and emotion and then translate it into that. It was like nothing. I felt almost nothing from the voice actors, the majority of them, and that wasn't cool to me. There was no emotion behind any of the lines. Like when Nala first saw Simba after, he had run away, she was like, "Simba, is that you?" Like, there was no, "Oh my God, my best friend who I thought was dead is here." You know what I mean? Kind of like in the animated one, like you could feel that, "Oh my God, my friend's back from the dead," essentially. But in this, it was Beyonce like, "Oh, you're here?" And speaking of Beyonce, I feel like Disney kind of pandered to the fact that Beyonce is an icon. Kind of, as soon as Nala's character had grown up, because Beyonce is not the voice of young Nala, she is the voice of adult Nala. As soon as she entered the scene, it went from being the Lion King to Beyonce featuring Africa. And I feel like Disney kind of was like, "Hey, Beyonce's in this movie," and they really played up that fact and made the movie kind of more so all about Beyonce being in it than the actual Lion King in the story. There were points in which the singers were supposed to be harmonizing, and because Beyonce does what Beyonce does with all her runs, she oversang everybody that she was supposed to be singing with, which is not necessarily a negative thing. Like, if you got lungs, girl, then blow, but like, some of it was a little unnecessary. Like, it was like, girl, relax, like, calm down. Another negative point that I have is that the overall movie just wasn't as quirky as the original Lion King, which I understand they wanted it to be more realistic. They wanted it to have more of a, these are actual lions feel than the original one. But Timon and Pumbaa were the only ones who actually had a character that they were. All of the other animals were kind of just there. And that was kind of a letdown. My biggest complaint, like I said, all the songs from the original Lion King are iconic. They butchered Scar's one song in the movie and basically took the whole thing out. I don't know who told them to throw together that half-done piece of trash that was Be Prepared into this movie, but Be Prepared is supposed to be such an epic song about literally rising against the reigning monarchy. It fell so flat. Like, I was like, oh my God, I love this song because I love Be Prepared. That's one of my absolute favorite songs in the movie. Be Prepared and Can You Feel the Love Tonight are my absolute favorite songs in the movie. And Be Prepared just was not, it was dead. Like, it was, I was like, are you kidding? Like, I was so ready. Like, like, when those first drums hit and Scar's like, "Yeah, I'm Sassy Scar and I'm talking about killing my brother." Like, that just wasn't there. It just was not there. And I was like, Disney, seriously, stop texting me. That was literally the biggest disappointment besides the flat voice acting for me in that movie. Another negative point, well, I guess it's not even a negative point, it's just like something I feel like they should have or could have added in. I feel like they should have had more of the original voice actors, like voice act their people like they did with Mufasa. It would have been more of a nostalgia hit for us old heads who saw the original and love the original, or at least if they're not gonna be like the main characters, at least make them have cameos in the movie. I feel like that would have been a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it would have been like a nod from Disney to people like me who love the movie. All right, and my last, I don't even know if this is a negative point, it was just something I was confused about. We all know the three hyenas from the very first movie. Oh my God, my voice keeps cracking. It's like, anyway, we all know the three hyenas from the original movie, and the entire dynamic between Scar and the hyenas changed for this movie, and it was weird to me. In the original Lion King, it kind of read as if the hyenas, you know, accepted Scar into them and he was like one of them, but in this movie it was like, oh, he's just a lion, what is he gonna do for us? He wasn't like one of them the same way that he was in the animated movie. Also, Shinzi, the girl hyena, who was voiced by Whoopi in the original, why was she the leader of the hyenas? Like, was she the leader in the original one? Because I don't know if she was. I don't think she was. I think she was just one of the hyenas. But she was their leader, and just the whole dynamic was weird. Probably not making sense. I'm probably just rambling. But Shinzi being the pack leader of the hyenas was weird to me because she wasn't, from my understanding of the original, like she was just one of them. Also, I didn't like that the hyenas didn't have their goofy natures about them. It was kind of disheartening a little bit. Like, it was way more serious. Like, I understand because it's a remake, like you're not gonna follow the original like word for word because that'd be kind of dumb, I guess. But to change the characters completely was weird to me. Overall, I give the movie a solid 7 out of 10. It wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, like definitely not bad, but I feel like there was a lot to be desired. For the newer generation who's seen The Lion King for the very first time, it's probably good to them. If you are part of the newer generation and this is your very first time seeing The Lion King, leave me a comment down below. Like, let me know what you thought of it. I feel like everybody oversang Simba at every point. Anytime he was singing with anybody else, the other person oversang him. And poor Simba, poor Simba. Especially when he was singing Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Beyonce in her runs, she was literally running all over the place. The movie, it reminded me of my childhood. It took me back to a good space, and I feel like that's what the movie, or that's what Disney wanted to do with this remake. I'm really glad that they're remaking some of the older movies, and I feel like it's a good thing. Like, it's a good move. Like, it's a really good move because the people that saw the movies when they were children are at the age where they maybe have families and are taking their families to the movies. It's like something that's good for the adults, and then they can share that with their kids. And I feel like that's what Disney is on, and that's cool to me. That's really, really cool. I really do like that they gave Zazu a few more lines and gave him more of a aloof, like, comic relief. That was really good. I felt like that was a really smart move. Like, that was really good. Like I said before, I feel like it was kind of gimmicky. They fell back on, this is Beyonce, guys, featuring Africa and maybe some nature stuff. As soon as Beyonce stepped in, she kind of overtook everything, and I don't think she's the best voice actor. She didn't give Nala any life at all. All right, so with that being said, that brings us to the end of this video for today. Like I said, in the comments below, let me know what you guys thought about the movie. Like, did you like it? Did you not? If you have any specific critiques about the movie, let me know. Have you seen the original movie? Which Disney movie is your favorite movie? Let me know all that stuff in the comments below. And if you have not already, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. It is HelloooTerance with 3 O's and 1 R, exactly how it's spelled here. Again, make sure to like, subscribe to this video, share it with people, all that jazz. And with all that being said, as always, guys, stay hydrated because we all want clear skin in 2019. And I'll catch you in the next one.